Hello from the sunny balcony in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. I can't tell you how good it feels to be here. I actually have been here for 3 days, but I was squeezing in as much touristy stuff to do as possible in the last 3 days because my friend only came for the weekend. And now she's off and I'm here lounging on the balcony, reading and just living my best life. I feel so good. I think today is going to be a pretty chill day for me. I've started to, I picked up Bloodguard by Cecy Robson and just slapped myself in the face with it. This is, the description of this is very vague, to be honest. So Leith, the main character in this book, he wants to save his sister who is dying, and so he enters into this gladiator competition called the Bloodguard. And basically what happens is all the gladiators that enter here, they're kind of just like pitted against each other. It's giving like a Hunger Games type free-for-all situation, and then basically whoever wins, they win a lot of money, and so a lot of people sacrifice themselves to enter Bloodguard. And Leith, it's looking kind of not good for him until he meets this elven princess named Maeve, and essentially she kind of offers him the opportunity to somehow beat the Bloodguard. But now he's kind of realizing like this thing is kind of a setup. It was never really much of a chance, and he wants revenge for the people who put him in there, and she offers him the opportunity to do so, as well as hope to get out. And that's all I know. That's all really that was like in the description, which I feel like is not much, but gives you a good little setup, you know? So I am going to read this on the balcony, and then I'm really excited because I asked one of my cousins here to come get me in like 2 hours and take me to Cuesta Libros, which is the local bookstore, I guess. It's confusing because they call all the bookstores librerias, which technically translates to libraries, but either way, I'm excited. And then who knows what we'll get ourselves into, maybe explore like a mall or something. And yeah, it's a chill day. Okay, I'm at the bookstore. Let's play. How many American titles can you recognize based on their covers? look what we found. Woohoo! A successful shopping trip. We went to a bookstore called Cuesta Libros. So actually it was wrong. Libreria sounds like it translates to library, but libreria is bookstore and biblioteca is library. Very confusing, but Cuesta Libros is a bookshop, and I got this bookmark that says solo un capítulo más, which means just one more chapter. I thought it was funny because it has like the book and then the light for the abduction. And then I found this limited edition version of A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which is one of my favorite is A Court of Mist and Fury, and this one in the series. But it was just so flippin' beautiful, this edition. I just like, look at the inside. Come on now. Like, it's so pretty. They had a lot of different like sprayed edges. I noticed that a lot of the covers were like UK covers. I noticed a lot of editions like the ones that I saw when I was in Costa Rica, so I'm assuming that they're imported. That's my assumption. But yeah, and then I got like this like 10% discount because it had like a little tear right there, but I was like, I don't really care, but I'll take the discount. I'm so excited. And then we ended up actually going to this mall called Agora Mall, and they have like a little mini section with books, just like one of those like counters or carts in the middle of the mall. And I actually ended up finding there the rest of the series in these editions, but they're really, really heavy. Like, these are tomes. So I don't think that I could afford to take the entire series home with me. I just settled for the one I found in the original bookstore because they didn't have any other ones in the bookstore. It'll just be a pretty souvenir, I guess. And then this one I actually want to try to read, but I'll tandem read it with the English version. And that's It by Stephen King, or Eso. But I just loved this cover. How cool is that, right? And it's very satisfyingly floppy. So I just had to, your girl had to do it. Is this over 1,500 pages? 1,501 to be exact. She's a chunky monkey, but I have faith in myself. Maybe when I finish my physical TBR and my series. Also, I think it's funny that it is eso. Which I think eso is more like that. I don't know, Charlie. Anyways, we also went to this place called Jumbo, aka Jumbo, and it was very much like the Dominican equivalent of Target. That's what it felt like. Like, they kind of sold everything: toys, electronics, books, home stuff. Yeah, it was very much giving Target. It was fun. But that was today's journey, and I'm very excited because I just, on a whim, booked me and my grandmother some massages at the spa. So she's getting ready right now, and then once I'm done filming, I'm gonna call the Uber, and it's gonna be really funny because if you know my grandma, she does not relax. Like, she never stops talking. So as a matter of fact, she was in the background speaking while I'm filming this, so should be an interesting experience with her. So reading updates, I am about 20% through Bloodguard, I believe, and 18% to be exact. I don't know that I have many thoughts so far. I feel in my soul that it's gonna get real spicy real soon, just because both of the main characters just talk about each other's physical appearance, very much so. Very, very much, actually. That's like all they talk about with each other. Other than that, we're finally getting to the meat of the story where they're kind of making their arrangements, and I'm interested to see what kind of perks Leif, I'm interested to see what kind of perks Leif will get from dealing with Maeve and how he will get out of the games and win them. I also believe that this is going to be more than one book, like it might be a series, so we'll see. Right now I don't have any thoughts really. There's nothing that's like standing out to me, unfortunately. It's neither bad nor good. We're just here for the vibes. I'm at like 98 pages, so I'm hoping it picks up. There's a little bit more like action or something, you know. Since the family, the royal family in this book doesn't really get along, I'm hoping it'll be interesting with like some of the drama, maybe a little betrayal, who knows? Fingers crossed, because I need something to happen. And then I also saw and picked up the audiobook for The 3 Lives of Cate by Cate. Oh, I'm forgetting her name now, but I'll put it here. And the audiobook was available. I actually have this book physically at home. I chose it as my book of the month, so it's literally waiting at my front door. The physical copy, but since the audio was available, I decided I would just pick that up. Basically, this book is about this author named Cate. Essentially, she and her best friend Amanda, they had this dream of moving to Hollywood and becoming these big actresses, but on the day that they decided to start their big adventure and move, something goes awry, some big accident, and she's been on the run ever since. And so she writes through the alias of Cate, and she has best-selling books. It's being turned into a movie. However, she's on the run from whatever happened, and she realizes that the only way to kind of get herself to be whole again is to come back home. And her life as a author is very anonymous. No one knows who she is. She doesn't go to author events and things like that. So it's very elusive. They say this book is Evelyn Hugo meets First Lie Wins, and I gave First Lie Wins 5 stars. I actually was pretty convinced when I started this book. I had kind of forgotten the synopsis, and I opened up the audiobook and was like reading the foreword. And I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds like a memoir. Is it a memoir? It's not. It's fiction, but she's that good. So I'm really excited. I hope it is good. I'm actually about 20% through this book as well. Exactly 20%. And nothing nefarious has happened yet, but I'm excited. And the writing style is pretty convincing and pretty good. So fingers crossed. We have high hopes. Song. Do you believe in love after love? Having my own card party. Yo, my hair does not do well with this weather. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I've been using my usual products, and what is this? It's a mop is what it is. Anyways, I am making my way through both Bloodguard and The 3 Lives of Cate, and I have no updates for you guys. Like, I'm just going through the vibes at this point, to be honest. But I also haven't been doing much reading because I just have so much family here. I'm trying to make time to see all of them, and it's just not enough days and too many people. Why do Dominicans have like 50 cousins? I don't know. And then I gotta see all my cousins and all my uncles. So what a time. But today, hopefully, I'm gonna take a nap on the beach and get a lot of reading done fingers crossed I'll finish at least one of these. I know I do it to myself because I'm reading multiple books at a time, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. You get what you get. I cannot see him, but what? It is what it is. You get what you give. I cannot see heaven being much better than this. Yep. Blessings. I'm very confused, like, about these games. So this character often references how he's been in the games for years and he's been sending money home. But from my understanding, you only have to win 4 matches because you get the tattoo for each of the things: the sword, the thorny vine, the rose, and the crown. Then you become the Bloodguard if you get all 4, and you get 1 by winning a match. So how is it possible that you can be in a game for years? No entiendo. No comprende. I'm confusion. Not making a lot of progress, y'all. Taking lots of naps, though. Hey friends, editing me here. I'm actually in Baltimore right now. It's like 2 weeks after my trip to the Dominican Republic, and I have no idea where the rest of the footage for this trip is, because I know for a fact that I recorded a video following up. The first one was me deciding to DNF Bloodguard more than 50% through the book, because I just felt like at the rate it was going, the book was like 3 stars. Like, no matter how much better it got, it could not be more than 3 stars for me. And I was realizing that I just didn't care what happened to the characters. Like, I wasn't necessarily bored, but I wasn't like looking forward to like what was gonna happen to them either. So I was just like, what's the point of me reading this book if I don't care what happens to these characters? So I DNF'd the book. I was like 53% to be like more precise. And then I did finish 3 Lives of Cate, I think the day right before I left the trip. And or the day that I left. I can't remember which one it was. Either way, the 3 Lives of Cate I thought was a phenomenal book. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I felt like the book itself, like the experience, was so flipping good. Like, I was so interested in the characters, like their development. Was Cate gonna like get reunited with her friend from the beginning? Also, like, there was this like nefarious situation between her and the one person that knew who her real identity was. I wanted to see how that would play out. There was just like so many different elements in the story that just had you on the edge of your seat. The only thing that I just didn't really like about the book was the reveal of the actual like event that caused her to like run away and use a different name and like change her story. I just felt like, why did you do that? Like, you didn't need to do all that. You didn't do, like, it wasn't that deep. I don't know. I just felt weird about that reveal. But besides that, I thought the book was phenomenal. Like, I literally thought in the beginning of the book that it was a memoir, or I literally read like the first chapter or intro, whatever it was, and then I was like, wait a minute, is this a nonfiction book? And went back and looked and was like, oh no, it's contemporary fiction. But it was like so convincingly written that I thought that. And I also thought the premise was like really unique and different. Like the fact that she's like an author who no one has ever met and stuff was really cool. So I really enjoyed that book. I'm really happy I read it. It also was like a pretty easy read. And yeah. And that was kind of like the last book before I hit like a really bad reading slump. Anyways, Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, leave me a palm tree emoji, because you know, Dominican Republic. It was so good. Yeah, and if you enjoyed this, hit that like button. If you want to join the family, hit that subscribe button. I will see you all when I see you next. Bye.